Hello, Evertonians. Welcome to the pre-match build-up show. This is Everton versus Bournemouth live at the Bramley Moore Dock Stadium, 7:30 p.m. kickoff. Now, I did have a ticket, as you can imagine, and I was meant to go to the game tonight, but due to a lack of childcare, I am at home and my ticket has gone to waste. So, for the next 30 minutes, we'll have a little chat about the game, talk about team news, and yeah, we'll have a look a bit about Bournemouth and we'll get some comments up on the screen. Hello to Mr. Blue Skies 1878. Thank you very much for joining the show. So, without further ado, let's have a look at the Everton team. So in goal, Jordan Pickford. And at right back, we have um, Jake O'Brien. No start for Nathan Patterson, who hasn't really put a foot wrong in a lot of the games, but Jake O'Brien is in there at right back. Even though, to be honest, I think he struggles against the smaller, more nimble wingers. But there you go. I think David Moyes certainly rates him as Everton's first choice right back. Moving across to the back line, you've got James Tarkowski, who for me sometimes does flatter to deceive, certainly in these home games as well. Very sluggish and unable to cover the ground, a big pitch. But alongside him, you've got a lot more of a capable defender in Jared Branthwaite, who I think he adds so much to this team. His ability to carry the ball out from defence and play out from the back will be something much needed. And bear with me 1 second. This is not public. Bear with me just 1 second, guys. Just need literally 1 second, if that's okay. I'm going to come back in a moment. Okay, yeah, we're back. Sorry, do apologise about that. So Jared Branthwaite, he adds speed to the back line and an ability to play out from the back, and I think that's something Everton have really lacked this season, and certainly in these home games where we need someone who can actually help us progress the ball out of defence, and we've really struggled with that. Mikalenko, unfortunately, is the left back, still Everton's left back all these years later. I don't know how this guy has managed to get a career in the Premier League, but he is. And to be fair to him, he got an assist in the last match away at Fulham, and it was a really good assist. He beat the defender and had a pullback for Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. So Vitaly Mikalenko, Jared Branthwaite, James Tarkowski, Jake O'Brien in the back line. What do I think? I don't think it's got a lot of attacking quality. Certainly the fullbacks don't have anything to offer in there, which is a little bit of a concern. But I think it's a solid enough defence. Moving into midfield, then we've gone with Garner and Garner. To be honest, I personally wouldn't have gone with the two Garners. I think James Garner, yes, but Garner Gay hasn't played well since he's been back from AFCON. And I think Everton have got other options there. Millen Roll, Timur Abunam, Charlie Alcaraz even. And I'm sure there's some others in there as well, Harrison Armstrong. But look, as Bruno's WKD says, it probably is the right team, in fairness. And you can't argue with what David Moyes has done, going back to that defence. He played most games last season before Branthwaite's injury, and the midfield pair that he trusts. Out wide then, Tyreek George is making his first start for Everton on the left-hand side, you'd expect, of midfield. Probably will interchange with Illiman and Jai, who's also starting. And Jai hasn't had the best start to his return since AFCON. He's been a bit slow to start and try and get himself involved, but hopefully tonight he'll be able to get himself on the score sheet for the first time since returning as an African champion. And Tyreek George has got to stake his claim. I don't know whether Dwight McNeil is on the bench. I need to have a look, but personally, I think if Everton's got a fully fit squad, I just don't see how a player who's not committed can be involved. So moving on then, George hopefully can get a goal, get off to a good start. He looks like he's ahead of Tyler Dibbling, who Everton, David Moyes is not happy with at all. Maybe sees him as a bit of a weak link in the Everton team, and not creating, not scoring, and just not doing enough. So good luck to George. Of course, in that midfield, you'd say the tip of the three is Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. He's a very, very good, talented attacking midfield. He can also play a bit deeper and knit the play. And I think we're going to see some nice link up today between Jared Branthwaite and Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. Can Jared get Kiernan in between the lines and into good spaces vertically, to create opportunities? And he's going to be key. And up front, Tierno Barry gets the nod. I think he's got to get a goal. I think he's overdue a goal now. He's not scored in 2 or 3 games. So I want to see him get a brace or something today and just show us, show some consistency and prove that that little spell wasn't just a purple patch and that he's got a lot more in his game. So on the bench, I need to get the bench up. So just because I've been looking after my daughter, I haven't actually been able to see everything that I need to. As I say, I was actually meant to go to the game. My ticket has just gone to waste. Tonight, unfortunately. I had no way of transferring it at such short notice. It's just a terrible system from Everton where you can't transfer the ticket. You can't print it off and give it to someone. It's just a bit of a disgrace, really. But I'll be honest, I'm really gutted about not going, but I have been to those 4 games at the start of January and we were terrible. So it's just one of those things. You accept that we weren't good, and yeah, but this is a side that Everton's first 11 here is probably the strongest 11 players they've got, that they could put out, apart from Grealish, and I expect them to win. So it would be nice to go. Looking at the bench then, Patterson, Beto, Keane, Irabunum, Armstrong, Travers, Dibbling, Alcaraz, Merlin Roll. I don't think we've had a bench as strong as this in a long time, have we? Can anyone recall a stronger bench for an Everton game? Let's have a little look. So I'll just repeat that. Patterson, Craig, we will win. We will win tonight. I can almost guarantee it. We will win because I'm not there. Patterson, what games have I missed this season? Well, I missed the Brighton at home through work, and I missed Arsenal, Tottenham. Mind you, yeah, I missed Arsenal. I missed the Tottenham game. They were both terrible. I think there was another game I missed as well. I missed 5 or 6 matches this season, so I'll tell you which ones I missed. I missed Newcastle, Tottenham, and Arsenal, and we lost all 3. I was at the Palace win, and I missed the Forest game as well. We lost that. We won that, sorry, 3-0 through work. And tonight I'm missing this. I think I'm going to get to the Man United game and the Burnley games. The Chelsea game I can't go to. And probably I can't go to the Man City game either. Bastards. I'll look at the Bournemouth team then. Wow. They're starting Ryan, the number 37 for them. The Bournemouth winger looks very talented, coming from Brazil. When I saw the highlights of him in the previous games, I thought he looked really good. And this is what I find baffling about Moyes. Why is he saying players aren't available in the market? Well, they blatantly are. So there blatantly are players available. Ryan is one of them, and I think he's a very talented player. Someone to watch. I think he plays more on the right-hand side, so Mikalenko will be tasked with trying to keep him quiet. And then they've got players like Adrian Truffert, who I think he's a left-back, quite a decent full-back. Maybe someone we could have been linked with in the summer, but chose not to. The usual suspects, Evan Nielsen up front for them, Ryan Christie, the captain, Alex Scott, very talented midfielder, James Hilbert. And you've also got the Alex Jimenez, who's a right back, just signed on a permanent deal. I think he's from AC Milan. So again, another player, right back, talented right back, young player, proven he can play at the Premier League. He was available on loan, gone to Bournemouth. It frustrates me. because I think that's the sort of player we should have been going for. And as Craig is saying, Scout Network is non-existent. I would describe it as horrendous. Um, so Bournemouth's team, I'll be honest, if I bumped into them in the street, half of them, or at least half, I wouldn't know who they are. But having seen them on in other games, there are a lot of talented players. I just probably wouldn't recognise them. One player we've got to be really careful to look out for on the bench is Junior Krupi. Scored 9 goals this season for Bournemouth, and I think he'll go on for a big sale in the summer to a bigger club. Yeah, Bournemouth look like they've got a good, strong squad. They are below us. It's a 6-pointer for them. They have to win to keep the pace, but Everton can put real distance between us and Bournemouth with a win. Roy Nixon, George is starting. You'd imagine on the left-hand side today, but there will be some sort of interchange. Bournemouth have only won 1 in 9. Thank you, Mr. Blue Skies. 1 in the last 12 against top 9 in the league. I do apologise. I don't really think that means too much. I'm just looking at the refs. Andrew Madley, I haven't really got a problem with any of these. Mark Scholes, Craig Taylor, Sam Barrett, VAR, Michael Salisbury. Can't really recall any issues with any of these at any point. I'm pleased it's not Pawson or Chris Kavanagh, because then you're in trouble. Everything is big theatrics. And I just think after the game the other night, Liverpool Man City, I just think there needs to be a little bit more common sense shown in football. For some reason, there's no common sense being shown. And I know the rules are the rules, but this isn't the law, as in criminal law. This is football. It's for enjoyment. Let's just make it a better spectacle for everyone. And I think letting that goal the other night stand would have been a better option than to let a player get sent off. But stupid. I want to see good football. What we've got to be wary of, a lot of these teams coming to Bramley-Moore Dock, they've been stifling us. We know, I'll be honest, I've been a season ticket holder for 13 or 14 years. The crowd is quiet, particularly at Bramley-Moore. I've noticed it's been very, very quiet after the sort of the intro. And I think that's because a lot of people have been, hi Kev, a lot of people have been dislodged. So the old Gladys Street who used to sit together, they're all separated now. And so people with new faces, when the football isn't good and the results aren't good, that kind of affects the players. But the players have got to step up, make things happen. I think Moyes has got to take a lot of the blame for the home form. Far too defensive in the games and still end up losing. Seems to play a lot of defenders and not finding the right balance. But today, I think he probably has, because he's got the 2 wingers. He's got a proper number 10. He's got a balanced defence, so to speak, apart from probably Jake O'Brien. Could Jake tuck in and make it 3 at the back and let Mikalenko get forward as well and link up with George? Can we do something like that? So some little tactical things that help now, because I think Jake O'Brien, Tarkovsky and Branthwaite will make it into a back 3 out of possession. But then really, where does Njai get his support from on the right? So yeah, there's a few interesting tactical things. A win will take us above Liverpool tonight, and I think we'll get there. I think we'll get it over the line. I think we'll win 2-0, as Kevin says. I don't think Bournemouth will be a team we can steamroll, but I think we can get there. Just what teams are doing when they come to Everton, they're sitting everyone behind the ball, and they're waiting for us to make mistakes. And yeah, stifling the crowd, time wasting, getting in the ref's ear, making everything a dogfight, making it impossible to build momentum. I think if we are allowed to play football, we will turn Bournemouth over. If they make it into their game, which will be time wasting and a bit of a circus, and might nick something from a set piece and get everyone behind the ball, and low block us for the whole game, I think this is going to be quite difficult. Good point. Was Krupp? I think Krupi is a youth player. L Junior Krupi, French forward, 19 years old. No, they signed him in the summer. Sorry, they signed him last February and joined in the summer. Scout a France under 21 international, 6 goals in 5 games at the France under 21 level. Yeah, he's talented. 8 goals for Bournemouth in the league. this season, and he's only 19 years of age. What a player. No doubt Everton will try and put a bid in for someone like him in the summer and then not play him. What is going on with Tyler Dibbling? That is just getting beyond the joke now. 35, 40 million for this player, and he's just nowhere near it. He's just nowhere near getting involved. And I am so frustrated about McNeil's situation. Now we've got a player who's probably not even getting the squad. Don't know what you're asking me, Jackson. This isn't a watch along, buddy. This is just a little bit of pre-match build-up. For those who don't want to watch the official shite. What do people want to talk about then? There's some other games going on. I'll tell you what they are. West Ham United versus Manchester United. I didn't answer the question about recruitment, did I? So I did meet someone famously a couple of years ago, maybe 3 years ago, who I can't tell you who it is, but he is a director of football at one of the elite clubs in England, and he said that Everton, as scouting network, is horrendous. Those were his exact words. Like, we don't seem capable of looking further than our own nose, the obvious players. I'm not saying that doesn't always work. Jack Grealish, Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, it did work. But I think when you're looking at like Krupi and Alex Jimenez and Ryan, you know, pisses me off. But you could also argue that we're above Bournemouth in the league. So where'd you draw the line? Calvert-Lewin's injured. Just looking at what's going on across the Prem. So Spurs versus Newcastle. We've lost to both those teams, both below us, both big names, but kind of dour, if you like. And there's some others here. Chelsea are playing versus Leeds. I don't think Chelsea are within range. I know they're only 6 points ahead of us, but it's a difficult one, isn't it? You kind of want all of the bottom clubs to take points now off the teams above us, because if we're chasing maybe the top 6, but I don't want Liverpool to get top 4. I don't think we're getting top 4. I don't think we're going to get 7-point swing on United. I know we got to play them. They've been very good. They're in good form. They've won 4 out of the last 6. And so I think the top 4 is going to be too much of a stretch. Want Liverpool to lose games, Brentford to lose games, Sunderland, Fulham to lose games. Just the teams around us, really. I think if we get 7th or 8th place, we should be really buzzing with that. So I'm going to wrap things up now, and I hope we get a positive result. I'll be on at full time and enjoy. As I say, was meant to be there. Bit gutted I'm not, but hopefully can enjoy watching it from a different perspective tonight and see what it's like watching at home. Enjoy, Blues. Prediction. Give us your predictions then quickly. I'm going to say 2-0. 2-0 for me tonight. I just want a routine win at home. Routine win. Everyone's going out. 50,000 people going out in the cold winter's night. Go and put on a show for them. Jackson 2-1. Thank you, Jackson. You're welcome, Roy. Any other predictions? 2-0, says Kevin. Thank you, Kev. Thanks for your loyalty as well, as always. We'll just give it a couple more moments. Roy saying 2-1. Is that a comeback win for Everton, or how do you see the game panning out, Roy? Okay, guys, let's get this wrapped up. See you soon. See you at full time.